Blue face, baby. Yeah, I'm every woman's fantasy. Mama always told me I was gonna break hearts. I can surf off stupid. Don't be mad at me, I wanna see you bust down. Bend that shit over on the deck. Yeah, make that shit clap. She threw it back, so I had to double back on the gang. Smacking high off the drug. I tried to tell myself 2 times enough. Then the nigga relapsed on the dead low. Ain't no running, Tatiana. You gon' take these damn shows, Tatiana. I beat the pussy every time it's a murder scene. Keep shit player, Tatiana, like you ain't never even heard of me. But bust down.
You know what the deal is. Trying to get your damn knowledge on. You're going to be in the house with Team Earp, baby.
How hard is that intro? God damn.
Steven.
Hey. I'm here. What's up?
He's alive. What's up? My team's up in the building. What's going on, Desiree and Steven?
Chilling.
Work.
Big time chilling. Big time chilling or just chilling?
Chilling as of about 5 minutes ago.
Yeah, we've been off work for less than an hour. Well, we still actually have shit to do.
We still got work to do tonight.
And then take some snakes to the airport. So we got a long night.
Now, if I'm right, you guys made it through your big ass freaking New Year. You know, you guys had a damn wall of shipments you had to break through. Did you guys get through that? Okay, are you guys all good?
Yes.
I
caught up or not really?
My fingers are still recovering, but my hands, elbows, knees.
Well, I guess this is a good time to say shout out to the sponsor, Cold Blooded Cafe, www.coldbloodedcafe.com. Freshest and bestest delivered to your doorstep. Day one pinks to the Welsh. Can we say whale shark yet? I don't know why I want to say.
We're on our website, but like whale shark rat.
All right, cool. You got eggs. Put them bad boys inside of a sim box. I'm using them. Desiree, Steven, Reptex using them. They're just what to be used. I'm telling you. Shout out to Sim Container. They're the best. And then shout out to the sponsor, Focus Habitat. Wait, where'd it go? Focus Cube Habitats. All right. I'm telling you right now, they just came out with like a 4x2, like open front slide door enclosure, which is obviously for other stuff other than arboreals. So they have stuff for like, you know, almost anything that you want to put inside of an enclosure now. I don't know. It's pretty sick. Have you guys seen it yet?
I have, yeah. Yeah, seeing all the new designs they come out with is always very, very intriguing. So,
very
on social media.
You want to know what else is intriguing in player? Desiree.
Thanks.
Yes, because she's the one that.
Yeah.
Because who do we have tonight?
We have from none other than the best of the Gourmet Rodent, Mike Layman.
This is Mike Layman. We have Mike Layman tonight.
None other than the best. That's it.
You got to work on those. You got to work on those introductions, Des.
I know. I need alpha.
I was like a 3.
We'll give it to him. What's up, Mike? How are you, bud?
I just get nervous.
Good. I'm good. How are you guys doing? That was an awesome intro. Don't let them tell you anything otherwise.
Thanks, Mike. Appreciate you.
Sorry, Des. 10. It's 10.
No worries. Thanks for having me.
All right, Mike. How you been, man? How's everything? A pleasure to meet you. Kitty Cat's in the building, the one that disconnected everything. So you must be a cat person.
Good, man. Yeah, I guess generally I'm just an animal person, but somebody was nice enough to decide to come by one of our farms and throw a litter of kittens in the dumpster. So, now I have cats.
Oh, wow.
Nice.
Yeah, people are wonderful. So, other than that, things are busy, man. It's a great time to be in the reptile industry.
Yeah.
Man, You couldn't say it better than anyone else. That's crazy. It's crazy facts right there, Mike. Now you're from Gourmet Rodent. Now if I'm correct, you now own Gourmet Rodent. Now you're actually full in charge of Gourmet Rodent, and Bill stepped out, right? Wow. Okay. How's that been?
I came to work. I came to work for Bill in 2001, I think, and then I bought it from Bill and Marcia in 2014. And having run it for so long, I thought, wow, transition will be nothing. But I was wrong. There was a lot that went into it that Bill handled that took a little bit of time to get used to. I'm very lucky that Bill is still heavily involved in the business. He's a consultant for the business, so I talk to him every day, and I'm equally lucky that I have a hell of a staff behind me, because otherwise, it takes a village to make this ship go, man. It's insane. When I think about everything that we do, there's just no way I could do it without my staff. So.
Yeah, and what's crazy is, we have to realize that, having a staff working with animals, these people aren't getting paid, $40,000, $50,000, $60,000 salaries, you know what I mean? And I'm sure they're putting in 8-hour days, or do you have a lot of part-time staffs? How big?
So generally speaking, it's down a little bit right now, because as with everything else, COVID's got everything just completely goofy right now. But typically this time of year, we run with about 65 or so employees. And you're right. This is we tend to go with entry level people. That not all of them are animal people either, not to start with anyway. But it takes a unique person to put up with everything. It's culture shock when they come into an operation like this. They think, well, I had a snake at my house. I know how to take care of a snake. And then when you walk them into our ball python room, and there's 8,000 ball pythons in the ball python room, and they go, now what? It's a little bit overwhelming. So it takes it a bit of an adjustment. But fortunately we have good managers, and we have a core staff, a lot of people that have been with us for, 10, 15 years. So it makes it easier, because they can show the newbies around. Like I tell all of them when they start, I'll remember your name because you've done something good or something bad. Try and be the first one.
Wow. I'm trying to see because I haven't been in this industry for too long here, Mike. So I've never seen a rack with 8,000 ball pythons. To me, like I've done Steven's quarantine room, and I was sweating and I was excited. I wanted more of it. I had so much fun of it. So I can't imagine. I can't imagine seeing a wall of 8,000 ball pythons, man. That would. Obviously it's work, but like that's when passion kicks in, and it's not really work. You know what I mean?
That's the fun part about it is, even for us, we hatched out, I think 3,200 clutches of ball pythons last year, and that's the fun part for me, is to get into like I every morning I just walk in and like. I want to pop lids and see what's sticking their head out. And that's just our ball pythons. We have, colubrids and leopard geckos and crested geckos, gargoyle geckos, tortoises, monitors. And then that's just half of the business. Then the other half is the frozen rodent side of the business. So there's a lot of moving parts, and it takes a lot of people. And I'm always really surprised and really humbled by how many people run my business like it was their own. You know what I mean? Like they take real ownership in it. And that always, it's for my wife and for myself, that's really, humbling, because again, we have 3 farms now. We have, something like 64 or 65,000 square feet of buildings, 15 or 20 acres of land. And, if I didn't have my staff, no way in hell I'd get it done. So it's always humbling when you have, we have a husband, my general manager, and then my frozen manager and HR manager. They've been with us forever. And they're a couple that they're a husband and wife. I married them. So, they have as much passion for the animals and for the business as we have. And again, that's humbling.
Yeah.
So.
That is freaking awesome. I'm sorry, but that right there is like, man, because they say it's so important. Like, if you don't have a relationship with your employees, then everything's fucking rented. It's temporary. They could check out at any moment. So, I mean, I feel like you do have a good kind of really close bond with most of your employees. Am I right? If not all of them.
I'd like to say that I have a close relationship with all of them, but that'd be full of shit. We have a lot of turnover. But my core group that's been with us for a long time, and they're there. I mean, you can't just expect to have people come in and work hard for you every day and then just not give a shit about them. If they're going to care about you, you have to care about them. I mean, that's just the way it is. So we do our best. I mean, we're human. We fall short sometimes, and I have a bit of a legendary temper. So, sometimes I fall short of the mark, but, we do our best to try and take care of our staff, and in turn, our staff takes pretty good care of us.
Legendary temper. You do not say. You do not say. Oh man.
In my old age, I've got it under control, but in my younger days, I have broken a few doors and a few office chairs.
Oh yeah, I'm still patching walls of not even my walls, other people's walls that I just fucking rolled through. It is what it is. But day by day, man, I can tell you right now. Listen, this guy right here, Stephen Cush. He's, even though he's a lot younger than me, he actually matures me a lot. You know what I mean? And I always thank the hobby for that. The hobby's changed me in so many ways, just with the people I've met, and made me realize a lot of things about myself too, like my anger and shit. So I do appreciate you bringing that up, because it does hit home to me as well. So respect to you on that, Mike.
Appreciate that. Well, it's funny in this when I first started getting into reptiles, man, it was first off, it was a boys club. You would never see a lovely young lady like Desiree in the reptile industry. You certainly wouldn't see. It wasn't run as a business, man. It was a bunch of wild ass outlaws, basically. And in the last 20 years, I mean, it's really started to mature itself into an industry, into a business, into something that you can not just do as a hobby, but if you're willing to put in the work and dedicate yourself to it, you can make a living at. And we have, there's obviously the Mount Rushmore of the reptile industry that did that. And I'm a little biased, of course. I would think, I would say Bill Brandt is on that Mount Rushmore. Mark and Kim Bell, they're two more that have really paved the way for everybody. And I'm lucky enough to call all three of those folks close friends. Believe it or not, King Snake did a huge thing for moving our industry forward. Kingsnake.com, and Rodent Pro, Kevin Bryant being able to bring rodents to the masses before any of us really were. I mean, there's some key people that have helped us leapfrog out of that area of just being a bunch of wild ass biker outlaws that have big snakes in their room because they got mental issues and want to see it kill a rabbit, to people that respect the animals and love them for what they are and want to show everybody what this life is all about.
Yeah. Who would you say was like the first major person to bridge that gap from outlaw to businessman and really kind of set the tone for everyone to follow?
Nice.
Mm-hmm.
I think that a group of people came together at the same time. I think that Mark and Kim Bell really started paving the way, and then Bill and Marsha Brandt were not very far behind, and we've always kind of worked as sister companies, if you will. Again, I know Mark and Kim very well. I love them both dearly. I would say that those folks coming on board, Pete Call back in the day, Jamie Quick back in the day, John Mack is another one. Brian Barczyk. These are all people that filled, and even like Kevin McCurley. These are people that all filled niches to in different areas of the business to kind of bring it all together to make it an industry. You can't really look at the industry of the reptile business and go, you can't look at the history and go, well, this one person right here is where it all came from. You have to really peel the onion back. Like if we talk about the automotive industry in the U.S., everybody always goes right to Henry Ford. But if you start peeling that onion back, you see the Dodge brothers and and all these other people that were involved in it. And that's really who got the ball rolling is a matter of conjecture. But the reality of it is there was a group of people that really had the foresight to say this is more than a hobby. Now, I would say honestly, and again, I may be a little biased here, but I would say that the people that really looked at it and went, not only can this be more than a hobby, but this can be an industry, would definitely be the Brants and the Bells. Those are the four people that just really looked at it and said, this is going to be the business model moving forward. If you want to make a living out of this, this is how you do that. And again, I'm blessed as all get out that I can pick up the phone and call any of them anytime I want and say, hey, I got an issue. How would we work through this?
Yep.
It's all who you know, man. That's huge. Now, let me ask you this, Mike. What position were you in before you took over Gourmet Rodent animal-wise? Like, I want to know, like, what were yourself? Like, did you have your own brand? Were you just breeding on the low? What were you at, career-wise with your reptiles?
We moved up here. I was originally from South Florida. My wife and I moved up here in 2001. Her father was dealing with Parkinson's at the time, and her mom needed some help, and we moved up here. And I went to at the time I was doing breeding. I was breeding a lot of scrub pythons, a lot of colubrids, a lot of weird oddball stuff. And then I also had we had big cats. We had cougars and lions and all kinds of weird stuff. And I moved up here and I said, we came up here on a whim, and we said, let's go up and visit your parents. And then when we're up here, we said, let's see if there's any work up here, and maybe we'll move up here and help take care of your dad. And I saw this ad in the paper, and it was for an HR manager. And I said, well, I'll go on and interview. And it wasn't Bill and Marcia weren't there at the time, so I interviewed with a woman named Janet, and I can't remember Janet's last name, but then also one of my best friends up until his death, Doug Foster. I interviewed with both of them, and I went back, left the interview, everything went great. I went back home, and when I got home to my in-laws' house, my wife said, there was a call. They want you to come back in tomorrow. So I went back in and I met with Bill and Marcia. And I know publicly Bill has this persona of he's very magnanimous and everything is easy. But when Bill wants something, he wants it now. And so I interviewed with him and I said, I don't want to work for the animals. I have my own animals. I don't want to mess with the animals. I just want to do your HR stuff, and I only want to work 30 hours a week or less. No problem. Thank you for the interview. We'll call you. So I get back to the house, and again, hey, they called already. Can you call them back? So I called them back, and Bill said, when can you start? And I said, I still have to go back to South Florida. I have to sell my house. I have to pack my crap. I have to come up here. And this was on a Friday, and Bill said, "Great, start on Wednesday." And I was like, "That's not enough time, man." And he goes, "Make it happen." And that kind of set the tone for working for Bill Brandt. And I don't mean that in a negative way. I mean that he will push you. He knows what you're capable of, and he's going to push you. So I came back up here specifically to just do HR, and that lasted about 2 weeks. And then I was breeding bearded dragons for him. I was handling their all of their inbound animals, so any of the stuff that we were bringing from other vendors. And then we had a problem child that worked for us that was running our frozen department. And Bill called me up and said, well, since you're in charge of HR, why don't you handle this problem department too? And it just kind of went from there. And then, we just kind of, I was lucky enough that before for a couple of years before I took over, I was the GM of everything. I took over everything. But even prior to that, I was lucky enough that I had been in every department and I'd seen and done everything. And I remind when we have employee meetings and I start saying this needs to get done on this time, it's a benefit that I can say I've done this time hack. I know it's not impossible. But that's really the way I started. I did not plan on being here very long. I planned on, doing my own stuff. We were breeding our own stuff. We had, we did educational shows with big cats and stuff like that. And we had, we had the dream of opening an animal park. And, sometimes dreams take a different road. You get knee deep into something and you just, that's where you're meant to be. And, so I worked for Bill from 2001 to 2014. Like I said, by 2014, I was already the manager. I was the only one left. We went from a team of 4 or 5 down to me. And we've had some great managers that helped build this company. 2014, Bill and I were at a summit with one of our big customers. They bring their vendors in and all that stuff. And we were sitting there and they're going through this whole thing and they're doing their rigmarole and I'm trying to pay attention and Bill leans over and he goes, so this was 2011 if I remember correctly. He leans over and he goes, so do you want to buy the place? And I look like an idiot. I look around, I'm like, why the hell would I want to buy this hotel? What the hell are you talking about? And he goes, no, do you want to buy the Gourmet Rodent? And I thought, at first I thought he was joking. I was like, yeah, sure. And then on the way back, and this is how Bill works. If he's approaching you with something, he's already worked it out. Like he already knows where this is headed. So we weren't sitting together on the plane ride on the way back, and Bill managed to come back and talk the person that was in the seat next to me into switching seats with him, and the whole way back we were just discussing how this was going to progress. And it took us a couple of years to get it. I mean, this was not a little deal. This wasn't like, yeah, I'll give you 10 grand, thanks for your colonies. This was a major investment and one that I'm still paying off, by the way. It took us a couple of years to get to where we were at. We started this in 2011 and we finally closed in May of 2014. But again, it was good that it took that long because it shifted my training. It went from, just managing animals and people to sitting under the learning tree and going, okay, now I have to manage clients and big clients and now I have to manage vendors and all this other stuff that goes into it. And it was a real learning curve and it still is. There's still stuff that I'm still trying to figure out and get right.
Mm-hmm.
Wow. That's kind of like I don't know, what kind of story does that remind you of there, Kush? The hand me down the baton and you're like, what?
It's if you're referring to me or not, but
yes, 100%, dude. I mean, it's kind of
it's a little faster than that, but it was like, okay, go. I'm like, okay,
yeah, yeah. It's you think you're ready, and then the training wheels come off, and you go, oh shit. Wait, this is all on me.
Yeah.
But not only is this all on me, but I have 60 or 70 other families that are depending on me to not be a complete screw up. Yep. Wow. Do I have time to rethink this? Can I take that back? It's a little daunting.
Mm-hmm. No, dude, for reals. That's crazy. You're going to ask something. Go ahead, Steven.
I I mean, not necessarily, but I can definitely, think of something. Well, I mean, did you have anything right now?
Yeah, I thought you were gonna. I have a lot. I have a shit ton from Mike.
I didn't have anything off the top, so
okay. All right.
go.
All right. Awesome. All right. So, Mike. So now managing the rodents, right? Obviously, is one level of things, and then the reptiles. So primarily, like you said in the beginning, you're like, all right, if you hire me, I don't want to. I'm not going to work with the reptiles. Boom, you start working with the reptiles, but then going to the rodents, man. Like, how do you transition to accepting working with rodents?
It's again, when I came to work for Bill, I had a really large rodent colony of my own. I had a really large, I've been into reptiles my entire life. My grandmother used to do secretarial work for Bill Haas down at the Serpentarium, so that was my first exposure as a 5-year-old kid being taken to work with my grandmother. And she was in one of Dr. Haas' medical trials. Transitioning to transition back and forth between mammals and reptiles and all of that stuff. That really isn't the hard part. The hard part for me was really managing people that don't. I never understood when we hired people. We tended to, and this was told to me when I started by the woman that I took over for. She said, we try to hire people without any reptile knowledge. That's our preference.
That's smart.
And we do it for a couple of reasons. And the first one is they're not into reptiles, they're less likely to steal from them. The other part of that is they don't have any bad habits. They haven't picked anything up. So transitioning back and forth between animal colonies, not a problem. I'm an animal guy. I have been my entire life. That's not the issue. For the real difficult part of this whole thing is dealing with the different personalities and dealing with, like, okay, now I have to take somebody and say, okay, so-and-so isn't here today. I need you to move into that area. And it may be something that they aren't willing to work or don't want to work with. And that's the challenging part, is getting somebody else hyped up enough to be like, okay, we have a huge emperor scorpion colony. And, that's like usually the big no-no. Nobody wants to work around the scorpions. So to try and get somebody and say, okay, listen, Andrew, who runs our scorpion colony, is down for a week. I need you to go in there. I know you don't like scorpions, but oh, by the way, here's 3,000 breeders. Get your ass in there and make it work. That's a little challenging. And again, we're not, I'm not doing this in my garage with high school kids. These are people that are working, and my temper is the other thing that's the challenge. Is like, you see somebody do something stupid for the 15th time and you just want to headbutt them, and you can't. You want to tell them that they're being stupid and you can't. And so, yeah, exactly. Yeah. You want to drop a bow, but that's where the challenge comes in. And it takes, it's taken a long time for me to get to the point where I'm not, a sledgehammer with the employees all the time. And really, to be honest with you, that I'm not a sledgehammer with our customers, because, those are the anywhere where you insert people, that's really where the challenge is. Because animals, you can just go, even when they don't do what you want them to do, you can just go, it's an animal. It's not going to do what you want it to do all the time. People, you just expect to have that innate understanding of what you're saying, and sometimes they don't. Sometimes you don't speak the same language as the person standing right in front of you. And I don't mean that in the respect of, well, they only speak Spanish. I don't mean that. What I mean is,
it's right over their head.
I sometimes get caught up in that whole, I tell somebody what I want done, and I expect them to understand the concept, and I don't always explain it the best way.
Yeah.
And that leads to problems. That's the big hiccup.
Yeah. And then another thing too, Mike, is I'm not going to say that, I can't say any names or anything, but there's a well-known breeder out there who had to let go one of his like well-known workers. He had to let go, and everyone was shocked that he got let go. And then, like you said, you peel the onion back and you find out like what was the main reason, or what was one of the reasons why you had to let this guy go, was like he just couldn't identify the most simplest things when opening a tub. Like anything as small as like, oh shit, there's water that needs to be filled. Fill that water. Or like, oh shit, it didn't eat that rodent. Let me take that rodent out. Like literally missing steps like that. You know what I mean? Or like, you know what I mean? There was dying animals on this person. There's dying animals on this person's hand. And like people just don't get it. Like they just can't grasp to understand like, okay, that's an issue. I need to fix it right then and there. You know what I mean? And yeah, some people just don't got it.
Yeah, and again, I want to be clear that the majority of our staff is amazing. I mean, they do, they really do care. But you it's like anything else. You're going to have bad actors no matter what industry you're in. You're going to have people that don't care or don't get it. And I honestly, the people that don't get it, I have far less of a problem with the people that don't get it than the people that don't give a shit. Those are two completely different dynamics. Somebody that doesn't get it, this just may be, this just may be who they are. They may not be an animal person, because there's being an animal person isn't just, when I say that like you guys are animal people and I'm an animal person, that's not saying that we love animals, because innately most people love animals. To be an animal person, there's you have almost a sixth sense about like this animal's ready to breed. This animal's, your animals, and some people just aren't going to get that. Some people don't have that, and I'm okay with those people. It's the people that that just don't care. Like I have, again, very lucky. Our staff is made up with a lot of really, really good people. Yeah. But we've had stuff like I've walked in on a woman opening my colubrid bins, and if the colubrid came out, she'd just smack him on the head. I mean, like smack him on the head like she's smacking a man, and obviously you fire that employee. But I've also had people that have didn't know I had an animal die because it was. Yeah, it's again, it's hard for me being, once upon a time in my life, I had earned that tattoo, but now I have to realize I've got things now, and people can take things from me now. True. But the flip side of that coin is that, I had a person who completely missed a dystocia. She missed an egg-bound snake, and the snake died. But she didn't know what she was looking for, and she's not an animal person. And I can't get mad about that, because, she was very upset that it happened. Yeah, that's just a training thing. She hadn't been there very long. She didn't get it, and that's not her fault. That's ultimately, at the end of the day, doesn't matter whether I have 8 managers and 70 employees. At the end of the day, it's my fault. It falls on me to make sure that everybody's trained properly, and we just hadn't gotten there with her yet. So, again, it's two different dynamics. If you don't get it, you get more leeway with me. I'm not saying that it's a blank check and you'll be here forever, but at least you have a longer leash. Thank you, Kat. If you don't give a shorts and kittens, yay. If you don't give a shit, my tolerance for you is very low. So.
Right.
How many people have you fired?
What's that?
How many people have you fired?
In 20 years? Sure. I think the technical term is a shit ton. And I don't know. I don't know. We've had a lot of colorful employees at the Gourmet Rodent. And again, most of our staff, past and present, have all been really amazing people. But man, you get some winners in there that you're just like, you've got to go. And they leave an impression. Someday, what's that?
You have a high turnaround?
Over.
Yeah, it goes in waves, and it depends on the economy. And right now in Gainesville, we're having a high turnover because we've got a Walmart distribution center opening 15 miles from us. Chewy just opened a distribution center. So we've got 3 or 4 big distribution centers that have opened up. So that's, led to some turnover, but our turnover has been over the course of the last 6 years has been way down. Betsy and I have, my wife Betsy and I, we've worked really hard to, we make sure everybody has insurance. We make sure, we pay for a small life insurance policy for every one of our employees. We make sure that they get all their holidays off with pay. We try and take care of somebody. If somebody's out long term, we try and, make sure that they have money coming in. We try and take care of our staff. So our turnover's down up until, about 6 months ago, and then it creeped up. And once all those spots get filled, our turnover will go back down. But we do retain a core staff of people who have been with us forever. Richard and Nicole, the husband and wife I mentioned earlier, they've been with us. Richard's actually been with the company 3 months longer than I have. His wife's been with us since 2001. We've got several employees that are in that 10 to 15 year range. We've got one woman who's 60. How old is Kathy? 63, 64? And she keeps telling us that, I'm like, you ever going to retire? No, I'm just going to die here. Oh, that's good. I will make sure to check your pulse every time I come through the room. So turnover is up and down, but most of our positions are entry level. So.
Yeah. So kind of on this topic, I want to get a little more in depth about your hiring process. So, honestly, because I really want to know for, us here, we're working at about 8 to 12 staff members at a time. And to say we've had some awful staff members in the past is an understatement. We had 2 break into our barn last week and vandalize it just because they wanted to. So obviously we're working with law enforcement on that right now. But I want to know, because, 65 staff members, that's, you're not going to be able to pick and choose the best, as you've been saying. So what is the process of the company of how you hire and then how you kind of track new employees?
So we try and do the best we can and vet people to the best of our ability. Again, right now we're running very low staff because of, the new other places opening up plus COVID. So we're running fairly lean right now. So we're in what we refer to as fog a mirror hiring, which is basically just hold a mirror up under their nose, and if the mirror fogs, they're alive, you hire them. But what we try and do is vet them out and check their social media sites and do the best we can to make sure that we're not getting into somebody who is going to be detrimental. Does it work all the time? No. We do absolutely the best we can. But I talked to, again, without mentioning any names, I have this conversation with well, actually I can mention this. He won't mind. I talk to Steve Russis all the time. And one of Stevie's first things he always says is, man, I got to hire more people, but I'm worried about it. And for the exact reasons you were mentioning. I mean, do you have to worry about this person being a vandal, a thief, and animal rights whack job? I mean, there's all these things that you really have to worry about. And at the end of the day, you can only do what you can do. You can do background checks. You can do, all of your due diligence. And at the end of the day, you just have to have people in place that can keep an eye on these people and that know, we can usually tell. If I'm paying attention to somebody, I can tell within the first hour whether they're going to be good or not, whether they're going to make it. And I know that sounds pretty arrogant, but I'm not going to waste our time, dealing with somebody I know is not going to make it. Like every time she opens up a rainbow boa cage and the rainbow boa comes out, this person jumps back 5 feet and has a hard time with it. They're probably not going to make it. Richard and Nicole, they're very good about knowing when somebody's going to make it. And you try and train your managers like to what to look for. So the best you can really do is make sure you have a good probationary period in place, a good like, here's my 90 days. and you make sure you tell them, like, in this 90 days, if I don't like the way you part your hair, you're gone. Like, that's just the way it is. And you can, again, if you've been doing this long enough, you can tell in a week that this person's not gonna work out. So,
I mean, as people individually, I look at them like a chondro egg, man. I fucking look at them by the week. Any mold in a week? All right, here's the first fucking piece of mold. Trash it. You know what I mean? 2 weeks, another piece of mold. There you go. And then in 30 days, there's no mold on the egg. All right, we're gonna be all right. You know what I mean? We're gonna push through it. You know what I mean?
How long did you come up with that?
But the flip side of that too.
You got to swallow first, please. I can't even hear what she's saying.
The flip side of that is the flip side of that too, though, is the old adage about a new broom sweeps best. Man, if they come in, they could be a house of fire in their first 2 or 3 days because they know you're watching, and the minute they know that you're not watching, then they could start heading downhill. You just have to be diligent, man. And look, we're not immune to it. We have people who have. We had a guy. Was it last year that what's his face was robbing us blind? Yeah. Yeah. I'm sorry. So 3 years ago, we had a driver who was doing deliveries for us, and he had a key to the facility because he was leaving early to go make deliveries. Well, he set himself up a nice little route. He was stealing ball pythons and selling them on the way. So I was paying him to do deliveries and paying him to deliver the stolen snakes from me.
Jeez. Is that Betsy? Can we say shout out to Betsy real quick?
Yeah,
Hi, Betsy. How you guys doing?
She's coming around.
All right.
This is the real gourmet rodent right here.
There she is. Hi, Betsy.
Hi.
My name's MJ, and these are my two friends eating dinner.
Hi.
Hi.
How are you?
Hi, MJ and his two friends. Hi. I'm good. How are you?
Oh, we're just having the time of our lives here with Mike
I'm
Layman.
trying to be quiet.
No, you could just join in. We don't mind. Shoot, hang out with us. We're hanging out though.
Sure. Sure.
Okay. I'll pull up the chair.
You grab me across the table when you come back?
Sure.
Okay. That's the real gourmet rodent right there. And
all right, perfect.
That's the one right there. If it wasn't for her, I'd be living under a bridge.
Amen to that.
That's that's the truth, man. And that's not just me. If it wasn't for Kim, Mark Bell would be living under a bridge. If it wasn't for Marsha Brandt, Bill Brandt would be living under a bridge. It's
So she'd be living with a pet dragon.
That's true.
If it wasn't for Lily, MJ would be living under a bridge.
It's the truth.
That's my
man.
wife Lily right there. She's educated.
Hi, educated Lily. It's the truth though. It's the dynamic works really, really well because Betsy's she's much more risk adverse than I am. Me, I'm just like, let's throw enough snot at a tree and see what sticks. And which is great, and I'll hit a home run, here and there, but I'll also, lose 10 grand and then have to sleep on the couch for a few days. So Betsy's really good about, Desiree's like, yeah, I know all about that. But it's an effort, man. And I couldn't do what she does. She deals with making sure all the bills are paid and making sure that our vendors are taken care of and making sure that billing gets done so that we get paid and all this stuff that I'm just like, there's no flipping way I could do this stuff, man. My eyes would start bleeding and I'd, go jump off a bridge somewhere. But she does it and she handles it and we work really well together. It is really, and I'm not just saying this because she's sitting here, but it really is the perfect partnership. It works very well for us.
Yeah, Betsy, I will say he's been giving you props this entire episode. So it didn't just start with you sitting here. That's for sure.
Aw.
Yeah. Now, Betsy, I want to know since you're sitting here.
Well, I'm just hoping she slows down on putting the rat poison in my food.
Oh shit!
Wow.
I'm sorry, I didn't hear you.
Okay, so Betsy, I would like.
Kidding.
I would-
I'm kidding mostly.
Okay, there's a huge lag. Hold on, there's a huge lag. Like they're getting everything late, like super late. Hold on. All right, can you hear us? Okay. There's a lag.
Yes.
Okay, perfect. All right, so Betsy, I want to know.
Unplug everything on us again.
You're good. At what point, Betsy, did you come in and start helping Mike,
Say
like
goodbye.
with Gourmet Rodent and everything? Fuck, it's lag, dude. Just lag. I hate lags. There's a huge lag.
About a year before we bought the company from Bill, he hired me on to help with some of the administrative stuff and help me get a feel for what was going on. But prior to that, we worked separately. I worked for a finance company for many years, did a little insurance work, boring things. Prepared me for the boring job.
Okay. Now we were just
It was good.
sorry. Now we were just talking about, your guys' new hires and stuff like that, and bringing, like, having to keep people on the team. But do you guys have a training protocol that you do with everybody? You guys.
Yeah, we have a lot of training materials, and we have either department heads or managers in all of our areas, and they are, they'll start training their staff. They'll give them the training materials as needed, and then they'll also have them shadow somebody who's more experienced as well, because once they go through all the training materials, they'll sit through the videos and they'll sit through all of the other stuff that we do. And the prepared materials are great, but until they actually get in there, like, you don't realize, like, I can put on the training materials, all the stuff they're going to do, but at the end of the day, until they have shit under their fingernails, they really don't understand what any of that really means. So they have to shadow, people, and we try and pair them up with the best person that we can in each department, so that they can, they can get as much experience before they're turned loose on their own. Now, that said, in a given situation, we may have to throw somebody in the deep end without a life preserver and say, hey, we'll come check on you. You'll do it right.
Whoa. Figure it out.
Start kicking your legs.
That's don't breathe through your nose. The water gets in there. For the most part, we do our best to train people, and the people that care and the people that want to do it right, they pick up on it really quick, and the people that don't are the ones that are like, you write them up for something and they're like, oh, I was never trained to do that. Yes, you were. Come on, you were. But training is it's also an ongoing thing for us too, because the way we do things in 2021 at the Gourmet Rodents, not the way we did things in 2010 at the Gourmet Rodent, or 2001 at the Gourmet Rodent. Things are always changing and evolving and hopefully getting better. And the other side of that coin is that sometimes we go all the way back to 2001 or 1999 because we have been working on a new process or whatever, and then we realize, man, we didn't really mean to get here. We just somehow all of our protocols over the year drifted in this area, and we need to do a reset. So things are always changing, always evolving, and training's an ongoing process. And some people pick it up faster than others, and some people it takes a while, man. But man, when they finally click, hopefully it's we have one manager right now. The guy's name is Jacob Pearson. Jacob's been with us 15 years, I think. 15 years-ish, 14, 15 years. And he runs our ball python department. And we've tried Jacob in, every area of the operation. And we were just like, man, he was like this close to not working for us anymore. And I just one day got frustrated. I was like, you know what? Make him a manager over the ball pythons. How bad could that be? And he has just knocked it out of the park. You know,
How hard could that be?
the guy's it's been I mean, 8,000 animals.
That is
be all right.
funny, bro. Oh my god!
But the thing is, that joker hit a home run, and every year that he's been in there, we've gotten more and more clutches every year that he's been there. He's increased the clutches since he took over as manager in there 3 years. 2 years ago, or 3 years? 3 years ago. He took over as manager in there 3 years ago, and he's increased our production by a minimum of 400 clutches every year that he's been in there. We found his niche. Yeah. I mean, the guy. I will put his speed and accuracy at ultrasounding ball pythons up against anybody. I mean, the guy's, he's got it down. His employees like working for him. I mean, he's we found his niche and we found what he's good at. And I'm glad we didn't throw the baby out with the bathwater because we were pretty damn close to it. And he pulled it out, man. And he does a great job. And our colubrid manager is the same way. Our colubrid manager, we had about the same time, about 3 years ago. About 3 years ago, we had our colubrid manager quit, and our colubrid colony's got 6,000 colubrids or whatever the hell it is in it. I don't know. And we had our colubrid manager quit, and it was just one of those next man up kind of things. I went to this woman Amanda who works for us, and I said, "We don't have a manager. You're it." And she kind of went, and then and now, I mean, she runs that department like a well-oiled machine. She knows what she's doing, and threw her in the deep end, and she learned how to tread water, and now she's swimming. So.
I would like to create a position, and I'd like to apply for it if it's okay with you, Mike. Can I say which? Okay, I would like to be a manager of the Timor projects. I love Timor, bro. I love Timors a lot. So does he. So does she.
You'll have to fist fight. Oh, that little blonde-headed woman over there. She's working at getting some Timors out of me this year.
Whoa! Come on! I got 2 of yours. I got 2 of yours, Mike.
I got one.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. Where'd you get those from?
You got from Joe.
Everybody's got one.
Yeah. Well, with all due respect, I got 12. And 2 of yours happen to be mine.
Okay.
Yeah, but I got
cool.
my 2.
Well,
I got my 2. Good. Good.
If you want to get the Timor project, you have to fist fight my son for it because that's his baby.
All right.
Fair warning. He just retired from the airborne. So there's I'm sure he'll be an easy win. Don't worry about it.
White flag. No. I don't want to fight.
No, he loves those, those special projects. When he left to go to the service, he gave us these like list of things like, if you kill these before I get back, it's your ass, and the Timors were at the top of that list, and we've been really lucky at producing Timors every single year. We just never, and I don't want to say they're an afterthought, but it's just gotten to the point where we've just got it down for whatever reason, and we're good at them. And I told Desiree, and I'll have to send them to her. I'll send them to all of you guys. But we've already got. I think we've got 6 confirmed copulations already. So it's going to be a good year.
It's gonna be a
Can't
great.
say the same thing for my Bolin's pythons though.
Who cares? I want the Timors. Mike, now let's talk about. I'm sorry. Let's talk about the Timor breeding process, please. I gotta know.
Mm-hmm. You want me to oversimplify it for you?
Yes.
We literally ultrasound them as soon as there's follicular development. Boys go with the girls. It's that simple. We overfeed them. We feed them huge prey items until they're just this side of obese. As soon as they start developing follicles, put the boys with the girls. Food is the key. Period. Calories in, eggs out.
Oh my God, that's it. It's true. Dude, I'm not, because, okay, you think about it, they fucking tell us you're overfeeding your animals, everything else. And then here with the Timors, you're supposed to almost overfeed them.
Yeah, our Timors all walk in. Hey, look, other people do them too, and they do them. Other people do them and do them well, and they probably would hear this and go, "No, don't do that." But for us, what works is, we feed them, and we feed them until they're big and plump, and we play fat bottom girls while they're in the breeding, and they like it, and there we go, man. It's for us, it's all about, with Timors, it's just calories, man. You get the calories in there, and they'll do the rest, man. And although I will say that ultrasounding the Timors, that's a fun day at work. Let me tell you, they're not thrilled about that process.
I can't imagine.
There is musk and crap everywhere.
Yeah, they don't like being held still. They do not like to be held still whatsoever. They like to move. As long as you let them move, they seem to be okay. But as soon as you fucking try to get them still, it's bad. Yeah, it's bad. It's crazy.
Yeah. So
and ours have a really strong feeding response.
Yeah, mine
sure,
too.
go ahead.
Oh, sorry. When you say follicular development, what are you seeing on that ultrasound? Are you looking at for 8 millimeters or higher, or like what do you consider they're going?
No, once I put when I'm ready to put the boys with the girls, once they're at 2.0, we're ready to go. They go with the boys. Once we see them, once we know they're up in that 405, 4050 range, we'll still breed them a couple of more times. But once they hit that, we know they're pretty good, and we'll take them out. We try not to leave the boys with the girls too long, because we also see with our Timors, they tend to get a lot of if the males are real sensitive, and if you breed them too much, they end up with a lot of infections in their cloaca for whatever reason. So we just really, we don't overdo it with the males, and that's probably another thing that we just innately do that we don't really think about. We save our males, and that probably helps us every year, because they're right back onto sperm production as opposed to just wearing them out every year. So we don't. They're one of the few animals too that we don't buddy breed, so we don't back up one male with another. It is
One-on-one.
Single animal to single female, single male to single female breeding. Yeah, there's no backup male. So
Okay.
Again, it's another reason why we're just so focused on not burning out the males.
Okay, so let me ask you, with the feeding when it comes to your adult males, by the
way, I want to point out, I'm surprised it took this long to get Timor.
Wait, say that again. Can you say that one more time?
I'm surprised it took this long to get onto the subject of Timor. I assumed as soon as the camera came on, you guys are going to be like, let's talk Timors.
No, but honestly, the reason why it took so long is because you have so much fucking knowledge on the business side of things, you know, and the training employees. I know Desiree and Steven work so hard to fucking train and keep their employees happy and stuff like that. So this is all great shit. We had to hear that, but now Timor's, I'm fucking glued right now about Timor's. You have no idea. So if we could continue to talk about like what you feed your males, how do you feed your males, male Timor adults?
We try and on the Timors, males and females all get anywhere from 1.5 to 2 pound rabbits. That's it, and we just pump the rabbits through them. If I run short of small rabbits, I'm throwing guinea pigs at them.
Mine are so small, bro, but they're old. I have
1
like
pound rabbit ain't that much bigger.
So
I'll show you. Our Timors are old and huge though, man. Like like my best producing female is a monster, dude. She is. I'll send you pictures of her. She is a beast, and she knows it too, man. When you open that cage, you better have a hook or a rabbit because she's coming to say hi.
Man,
and the sad part is, the manager in there, Amanda, is a little tiny girl, and I always expect, I'm like, man, I'm gonna come in there one day, and it's just gonna be legs hanging out of the cage where it's yoked her into the cage. It terrifies me.
That is nuts. How many females do you have, Mike? Breeder females?
Not a ton. I think total we had about 14 females and 7 males.
That's a lot.
Woo!
Oh my God! Can I be your son?
You know. You know, I'm happy we're having this conversation because sometimes it puts me in my place and it gives me a reset. And like when I said that, and then you came back with that's a lot. It reminded me like, dumbass. Not everybody has colonies of like if somebody's breeding rainbow boas, not everybody has 800 rainbow boas like we have. They have, 15 or whatever.
He's gonna hang up on you.
And sometimes I get a little, I forget that. Like I don't mean to sound arrogant. I'm not trying to be, but sometimes I just forget. Like, I'm in a pretty lucky position. I'm really blessed. And
Mike,
but yeah,
there's
not
people
a huge colony.
There's people in Facebook groups that are willing to give up their body part for a fucking Timor right now. You realize that, right?
Depends on what their body part looks like, and let me know. I might be interested.
Oh my God! How do you like the Timors, Becky?
Yeah, the Timors. It's.
Well, I overheard part of the conversation earlier, and I will say I'm an animal lover, maybe not an animal person as much as my husband.
That's to say she doesn't go near the Timors because they're mean as shit and she doesn't want to get bit. That's what she's really trying to say, and not.
Oh shit!
She's.
I'm cursed with sanity.
Let me tell you what a hero Betsy is. This is my favorite. Betsy is my hero story. So, when we got married, I kind of like, as soon as we got married, we've been married 27 years or something like that.
Yeah.
As soon as we got married, then I dumped all I kept most of the animals. Like I didn't really, she knew I was into reptiles, but I didn't really let her know. And then we got married and I'm like, haha, here you go. And oh, by the way, I like big cats and all this other crap too. And we were doing an educational show one time. We were getting ready to do one. And I needed, our alligator was sick or something like that, or for some reason, we couldn't use one of our alligators for it. So I called a buddy of mine all the way down in Palmdale, which is a 5-hour drive. And I said, listen, I need a gator. Can I come get one? No problem. Come down, get it. So we drive down. And I said, you sure you have everything I need down there? Do you want me to bring my travel box, anything? No, I got everything you need. So we get down to his house. It's the day before the show. I don't have time to source another one. I get down there. Oh shit! I forgot everything. I don't have any of it. So now what am I gonna do? And we're down there, and we had this big Ford Excursion. So I was like, all right, here's what we're gonna do. It's got some tie-down latches in the back. We'll tape it. We'll tie it down in the back. Everything will be fine. We'll just drive, 5 or 6 hours with a gator in the back, right? So we get about an hour away from our house on I-75. We're just cruising along, and I hear a rumble in the back. I said that, in my head, I'm like, that's not right. And I turn around to Betsy, who's in the passenger seat, to say, I think the gator got loose just in time to have the gator head coming over the seat at 70 miles an hour. So we freak out, shit, we pull over. Now, again, animal lover, but not an animal person. And for the next hour, my beautiful hero here sat in the back with a 7-foot alligator underneath her, holding it down with a death grip on it until we got all the way back to our sanctuary and we could turn it loose. I have never seen her get out of a truck faster in my life, though. As soon as we got home, she was back out and bye, see ya. And I think our kids were like, CJ was probably 10 at that time.
Yeah.
Our oldest son was probably 10 at that time, and he was like, I got it, Dad. And he's jumping in the back. I'm like, oh, no, God, don't get killed. Your mother's gonna beat me. Don't do that. She's already mad. But Betsy got brought along on this whole journey without being like, she never woke up one day and was like, I want to own a reptile farm. That was never her dream. She's just such an amazing partner that she was like, whatever, man, and let's see where this goes. Let's do this now. So I've been lucky.
To her.
She's a badass.
But she still won't go near Timor's.
Yeah, no.
I saw that.
Betsy is a badass, but she still won't go near those Timors.
Yeah.
You seen him, Desiree?
Yeah, I've been down
Yeah,
there.
oh yeah, you've seen.
I bought his chondro collection a while back.
Jesus.
Yeah, do you guys keep any chondros anymore?
Yeah, that's 5 or 6 years ago.
Yeah.
A few here and there. A few. Really, honestly, I've been focusing mostly at this point on Amazons and emeralds, and once we got rid of the chondros and they went to you guys, we went stupid crazy into rainbows, and we're getting pretty good with the rainbow boas now too. So,
Cool.
That's I'll tell you, I enjoy doing the rainbow boas, but that's another room that takes a really unique person, because, man, the feeding response on rainbow boas. We've got a guy, and he takes care of all my rainbow boas and all my blood pythons, and we call him Jimmy Cornbread. And Jimmy is he's a full on, you open the door and he's like, I got babies, boss. I'm a rainbow pimp, and he's all fired up about it, man. And he doesn't he'll walk in there and they're hanging off his ear, and then one's got him in the neck. He doesn't care,
That's cool.
So I want to kind of circle back on you're kind of talking now about not ball pythons. Like
I think MJ got mad because I didn't give him the position, so he just left. He's like, if I'm not a manager, I'm out of here.
Fun. From a business perspective, how do you guys balance the common pet trade, easier to produce stuff, and then Timors, emeralds, rainbow boas, kind of the more niche market type species?
Oh shit. Okay. Do this. Log out and log back in. That's what he needs to do. Log out and log back in.
So the niche market animals are it's my lag. Yeah, we have a lag going on, but
it's okay.
The way that we
yeah, it's
okay.
Log back in, yeah, please. Oh, good. I got so many more Timor questions. It's not even fucking funny, dude.
Now you're lagging.
Okay, you stay there. You stay here. Stay here. You guys stay right here. Say hi. Say hi to people. Say hi to people. Say hi to people.
Hi, Patreon people.
Hi, we love you
No one
all.
else.
Thank you for your support. You're amazing.
Am I still lagging?
No.
I don't know.
Go like
Neither of us
this.
have lagged.
Okay.
All right, here's Mike. Mike.
That was an interesting time to come back in. To be honest with you, dance moves, man.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Okay.
So to answer your question about the how do we balance? We focus primarily on the pet shop quality stuff.
Yeah.
We focus on where the bread and butter stuff, where the money is. I mean, that's what pays the bills. The niche stuff is usually if we have a niche colony, whether it's the Timors or the African file snakes or all of our monitors, it's specifically because I dig those, I'm into them, and it's a passion project. It's not a money maker. It's just strictly because it's my passion project. The Timors are great, and we produce. I love producing them, gives it. I geek out like a little kid being able to go in there and grab a handful of Timors and show them to everybody. But at the end of the day, that's not our main business model. Our main business model is
that's my life.
Did I just break MJ?
I just want to.
I just broke MJ. That's I know.
MJ, I might be able to know what it feels like to just hold a whole clutch of babies.
Whatever, dude. Whatever. Okay, can we go back to Timor's though, please?
I'm just gonna start renting vacation space to MJ to come down here when we start getting eggs.
Done.
Yeah.
Done.
We'll lose it.
And Airbnb that shit.
I didn't
please.
think we left Timor's.
We didn't. No, sorry. Okay, but okay. So, Mike, going back to breeding, going back. What do you recommend for somebody who doesn't own an ultrasound, other than they should buy an ultrasound? But if they own a shit ton of Timors, right, and they don't have an ultrasound, how do you basically tell? How do you? I mean, at what weight do you feel like a Timor is big enough to start giving you a clutch of eggs? Because I have a female that's around 7, but she's not big because I didn't get her big. So,
how big is not big? I mean, talk to me length, gram weight. I mean, what are you talking about?
She's 6.5 feet, and she's like probably just shy of 2,000 grams. She's just not like massive, like what you're saying.
So you got her from somebody already. You didn't get her as a baby. You got her as a.
I got her at 4
grow out or something.
I got her at 4 years old, and she didn't eat for a whole year. She didn't eat for a whole year.
Yeah, that's probably not going to be a good producer, man. I hate to bust your bubble, but you may have bought somebody else's slow grower.
Probably.
But it's 6 foot. That's really you got a 6 foot animal, man. That's a breeder. I mean, I've had Timors, like we had what we refer to as an accidental teenage pregnancy of a 5 foot female. My guys accidentally put her with a male, and next thing you know, I got a teenage pregnancy. I wasn't thrilled about it, and it was a small clutch, and they were garbage. But I mean, really, you can breed them that small. I mean, I wouldn't breed a female much before 8 foot. That's. But again, I've got the luxury of this is just a passion project. I mean, shit. If I get a wild hair up my ass, I may not breed them at all this year. Just depends.
No, yeah, that's the thing.
This
is fully a passion project for me as well. I'm not looking to get to I only happened to have so many Timors is because I knew that they were hard to get at the time, and I really enjoy them. Like I like them a lot. But at this point, there's so many people saying how hard they are to breed, and it's like cracking a code. You got to find what the codes are. All this shit. I don't know. To me, I'm just like, well, I don't buy that shit. And I know I have so many that eventually I will produce them. I don't have no time frame on it, but dude, this what you're telling me is. I did not know that. The whole like feeding them heavy, like feeding them hard, because my Timors love to eat, bro. Like they love to eat, and I haven't been slamming them the way you say I should be slamming them.
Yeah, but you gotta keep in mind too that like sometimes people like me just get lucky, dude, and we're just we fall into stuff, and then there's stuff that I'm not any good at. Like I'll tell you the two things right off the top of my head I am no good at. I am like cancer to Boelen's pythons. I have lost more Boelen's pythons than I think any other human being on the planet. You know what I mean? Like it's and I talked to McCurley and Michael Cole and Ari Flagel about you share the information and you're like, shit, man, I'm doing the same things they're doing, and I end up losing them. And the other thing is frogs, dude. I wish Betsy, she loves frogs, and I am a villain when it comes to frogs, man. All I have to do is walk by the tank and they go belly up. You know what I mean? So everybody has their thing where everybody in the reptile hobby has something that they're really good at and things that they're not really good at. And sometimes the things we're really good at, it's not anything we're doing special. It just happens to be, sometimes you can't. It's like. I hate to use this analogy because it's going to sound really arrogant, but like Tom Brady can't teach you how to be a better quarterback. You know what I mean? Like he's just Tom Brady. That's what he specializes in. And it's sometimes you're just good at something and you don't know how to translate that to other people. And I don't think we're doing anything special. Like when I said in the beginning, like I want to I'll oversimplify it for you, feed the shit out of them. And I wasn't trying to be. I wasn't trying to not impart knowledge. It's just we're lucky for whatever reason. We don't have to overcomplicate the process. We just, our animals do really, really well for us, keeping it real simple.
I guarantee you, Mike, I take that piece of information and I go fucking far with it. I tell you right now, because I'll tell you what, somebody put Tom Brady on game with something. Tom Brady didn't fucking wake up and just throw spirals. I don't give a fuck. Whatever the fuck, somebody help Tom Brady out.
All right, Michael Jordan, Mike Tyson, you can go on the list. Yes, somebody trained them, but there was just something that innately they had. But I guarantee you we're going to have one of these calls and MJ's going to be like, dude, all of my Timors are way overweight and won't even move. They all have diabetes now because I fed them too much.
Don't fucking say that. You're all fucking bloated and shit. Nah, dude. Oh man. Hey, no, but check this out, Mike. I will say, because one of my Timor mentors is a guy named Juan from Indonesia, and he fucking like tells me, dude, you could get females to breed at 3 years old, blah blah blah, and I'm like, what the fuck? But yeah, like, absolutely. His Timors are huge, bro. His Timors are huge, and I think that's an ingredient. They got to be huge.
Big fish.
They'll grow. Give them the food. Yeah, everybody likes curves.
Shit out of them. I'm gonna slam the fucking shit out of them.
Dude, once
I'm gonna give
those little bastards eating.
I'm gonna give them full access to Cold Blooded Cafe buffet, bro, all day to just eat.
There you go. There you go.
You feel me?
Once you get them to eat. Like once you get the babies started, just feed the little bastards, man.
They're down to eat all the time. They're down to eat all the time, and that's why I'm kind of antsy because as soon as we get done with this, I'm gonna go fucking feed 12 Timors right now. I'm not joking. I'm fucking so excited right now.
Here's your rule of thumb: feed them till they puke and then back off a little bit. That's again, I'm not trying to be, I just don't think that, other than we feed our Timors more than anybody else probably does, because everybody looks at them like, oh man, it's a long slender snake. It doesn't need a lot of food. And they're big animals, man. They're, you know what I mean? Like they're slender, but these are big, massive animals. They need a lot of calories just to survive, let alone produce follicles.
And another
calories
thing,
in, eggs out, man. Calories in.
And another thing, Mike, is I was like, I watched this guy on YouTube channel, and he's pulling fucking Timors out of the trees and in the wilds, and they're fucking huge in the trees, and in the wilds they're huge. Like they're big snakes. Like you're right, they're big. Not a bigger fucking snake in the wild. So, wow.
I think what gets everybody like so weirded out about Timors is they can be tricky to get started as babies. And they're slender. So everybody thinks those two things translate into it's a delicate animal. It's not. They're hardy. They're beasts. They're, mine are like psycho feeders.
Yeah.
So
they remind me a lot of my ticks, just less work. Like when my ticks are so much work, but my Timors have the same kind of fucking like hunger or like, food behavior. Like they just fucking want to slam all the fucking time. Makes sense, man. This is crazy. This was great. I'm loving this, dude. This is great.
I'll put it this way. If your Timors are like hitting the front of the enclosure, or they're like super like they're just
there,
like really like have a strong feed aggression all the time, you're not feeding them enough.
It's not my fault.
Hungry. Feed them.
All this fucking mixed information in this goddamn hobby. It's ridiculous. It's fucking goddamn confusing. Woof. Can't wait though. Now that I know, I could abuse the shit out of my Timors with food. And I could just fucking here, eat, motherfucker. Eat, motherfucker. Eat. I can't wait. I'm excited. This is gonna be great. We're gonna have a round 2. Are they frozen? They are. That's a beautiful couple though, huh?
Yeah.
I will say this is a beautiful couple. They've been together for a long, long time. They don't. It doesn't seem like they would have kids like around 20 years old or like that's crazy. They look pretty young. There they are. Are they moving? Nope, they're super laggy. If that's the case, you might just need to log out and log back in again. I'm pretty sure that's what. And
Florida guests, man. The Florida guests are always out in the sticks.
Yeah, dude. Florida guy. I always have issues with fucking Florida reception, bro. All the time, bro. And good thing you said that because I have Cody. I got your guys' homie Cody tomorrow.
Good luck with that reception.
Is he going to Walmart?
No, he said he actually bought Wi-Fi. He said you know what they did? They went off their hotspot, off their cell phones. That's terrible.
Oh, yeah.
That's never gonna win. So that's what they did. There's Mike. Oh, we fucking shoot away Betsy. Damn it. I blame myself.
No, she'll be right back. And for the record, our oldest son is almost 30, so
respect, bro. Respect. I will say respect. You don't seem like you're close to that. You don't seem like you're that old at all, period. You could have sworn you're close to like 40 or something. That's nuts.
Couple of years away from 50.
Oh man.
There's a lot of gray. It's just shadows.
Okay. No, but in all seriousness, Mike, I'm thank you so much for that piece of information, and I'm gonna do my I'm gonna do what I should with it, but it's really makes a lot of sense. Now, where did you acquire these Timors, or were they already there when you took over, or how that worked?
Some of them were there. Some of them we got as imports out of Indo. I got a couple. I got when I there for a while, I was importing a lot of Boland's babies to try and build up the colony with Boland's, and whenever I had Boland's shipped in, I would have some Timor shipped in with them too.
Yeah.
Right.
So this is like 2010,
but 2010 through like 2015. I think the last ones I brought in was like 2015.
Okay.
So
Now, I want to talk.
We still have, I still have some in the grow out pipeline too. So it's not like we're done growing the colony. Your cat is eating the damn cords again.
That's why I'm holding this.
Now, Mike, I would.
By the way, I'd be remiss if I would. I let me get this one thing in. Definitely,
US Arc.
Definitely US Arc and US Arc Florida as well. Yeah, see, US Arc and US Arc Florida. Definitely support both organizations.
Yes.
Very.
Yes, US Arc quality every day. Oh yeah, US. I love that shirt. That shirt super OG. I just for personal reasons, I'm still on the board, but I just stepped down as president of US Arc Florida. But both US Arc and US Arc Florida, man, people need to support those organizations. You know, we're on the front lines right now, making sure, you know, our hobby, our industry, and our way of life is under siege, man. And if we don't support these two organizations, you know, who knows what it'll look like in the future. 100%, and all our animals are at risk, which is, you know, most importantly, that's fucking nuts. So crazy. You have a wrap-up question?
Absolutely. Can you imagine? Sure.
You touched on it very briefly. We're kind of monitor addicts over here. What do you have over there for monitor lizards?
Yeah, that was my wrap-up question.
I can come up with another one.
Okay. Yeah.
Desiree's like, damn it, you stole my question. I had one question. The whole thing. I think you can take him. Just hit him. Monitor-wise, we do.
I have never hit him.
We've got.
You should try it.
She hits me all the time. We've got a lot of different water monitors. We've got you know, a lot of different locality water monitors. We've got black dragons. We've got a lot of sulfur water monitors. We've got different island specific water monitors, bluetail monitors, black throats, white throats, peach throats, black roughnecks. What am I forgetting? I'm forgetting something, I'm sure. Spiny necks. You know, just whatever I happen to see that I decide I want. So the monitors and tortoises are my jam, man. That's where my heart lies these days, is with my monitors and my tortoises. So when it comes to the monitors, man, I'm amped up and ready to go, man. You'd be hard pressed to come up with a monitor that I don't like. You know, that's another thing that my oldest son and I bond over, man. We get into the monitors, and it's just, we get into that room and forget about it. Life's good, man. And I would, you know, we're lucky. We get black throat eggs every year and hatch out, you know, baby black throat monitors, man. And nothing flips me. Nothing like, I mean, just gets me going, you know, than the black throats. I've got a gravid white throat right now. I've got gravid peach throat, or blue tails right now. So, you know, hopefully, last year I had 2 females slug out on my blue tails. So hopefully this year we'll get some good eggs out of them. But that's it. You know, I've got a couple of tegus too. We got a couple of blues, and I've got I think I sent Desiree a picture of of Marvel, my one big red tegu. That's just, he's my buddy, man. He runs like he's never been in a cage in his life. He just wanders around our monitor room, and he's just a big baby. You know, he loves being held upside down and scratched, you know, like a baby and all that stuff. But monitors and yeah, there he is. That's Marvel. That's his preferred position. But we, you know, I just, when it comes to monitors, you know, I'm just, they're so fascinating, man. You can't get closer to Jurassic Park than messing around with monitors, man. And when you see like, you know, even like a black roughneck, when you have a black roughneck and it's just got that long, slender face and it's just looking around trying to figure stuff out, you're like, man, you know, the wheels are turning, something's going on there. And as much as we all love snakes, you know, there ain't a whole lot going on there. But when you're looking at the that's scary for me, you know. But when you're looking at the monitors, man, they're just, you know, I've got this one big male white throat, and he's never tried to bite me ever. But if I've got his cage open and I'm cleaning or I'm doing something and I'll turn my head back around, like he's looking at me like I could have got you if I wanted you. Like I want you to know that I see you, and I could have just messed your whole day up. You know, I used to do, and I'll probably do them again this year. But I used to do. I had a few croc monitors, and I'd like to get back into doing croc monitors again. I love them. I think they're, you know,
Yeah.
I mean, it got 20 stitches in my hand from one, but you know,
Beautiful.
occupational hazard.
Yeah.
Occupational hazard. But that's really, if you really like, you know, obviously the scope of what we do runs a pretty wide range, but for me on a personal level, what am I really into? It's my monitors and tortoises, period.
Wow.
Nice. And kind of on that same topic, so we have a number of monitor species we're attempting to breed right now, and the one I'm most puzzled on are the blue tails. What's your approach to breeding those, and do you see a lot of digging activity out of them, even when it's not related to laying eggs?
Absolutely. They are hardcore burrowers, and where I've been able to get the most action, and Michael Cole really is the one. He's got, you know, he knows blue tail monitors better than probably anybody. You know, probably I would say Michael Cole and probably Kevin McCurley. When it comes to monitors, they're my go-to guys. But with my blue tails, it really is giving them a real wet season. And once I give them the wet season, and they're ready to go, man. And they're really, you know, they are burrowers. The one thing that I'll say with the blue tails, they are murderous sons of bitches too, man. Like I've lost some males to the females, believe it or not, and that's the one thing you got to worry about. We have one female peach throat too, man. She's a nut job. She's killed, I think, 4 by herself. She's killed like 4 males. It's insane. My vet. You know, we've got a really amazing vet, and she's on our property once a week, and she was helping. We were sewing back up a male peach throat, and she's like, for the love of God, never put this thing with another male again. Just retire this animal. Let it be a pet. And that's kind of what we've done, because, you know, I don't want to keep sacrificing animals for the sake of it. But our blue tails are, again, we feed heavy. We do a real varied diet on our monitors too. They don't just get mice. We give them a lot of fish. We give them a lot of chicken. You know, but they're he's all right. They're I know. You want to be on TV too. They're we just feed the crap out of them, and then, you know, when we're ready to put the boys with the girls, we just hose them down real well, give them a good wet season, and then back off of it a little bit. And, you know, we've been really blessed and really lucky. You know, hell, we've got water monitors. That's falling off a log for me right this point. We get water monitors. Our her name's Blanche. It's actually my oldest son's water monitor. She's a flipping beast, but man, she squirts out eggs. Like, we probably get eggs out of her every 3 months, like clockwork.
That's fucking awesome.
But she's another one where we got to watch the males, because she's so big. She's so big that she's bigger than every male. So anytime we put a male in there, we're like, well, we'll get some eggs, but this will be a vet bill. So, and then you get the fun of like, oh, there's a monitor dust up, and they're all like 6 feet long. What do you do now? Oh shit, I got to go in there. The female's 8 feet long. Oh shit, you know, you just kind of And then, there's those days where I'm like, oh, I went in here and they're fighting and I forgot that I'm in flip-flops and shorts. This is going to suck a lot. So, but yeah, try just misting them down, and mainly the girls. The boys don't need shit. The boys male monitors are like, cavemen, deep breed, they don't care. But the females, a little bit of misting down seems to get them to trigger for me.
Yeah. Ours actually, they're housed together. They get along perfectly. And it's always kind of tough because they're never out. And if you catch them out, they immediately dart away and they're hiding in their same log together. I'm just worried that we've been missing eggs, that they've been, she'll dump them and he'll eat them. Yeah.
If she dumps them and you're not getting them, the male will just destroy them.
Yeah.
I mean, absolutely lay them down. We had, we unfortunately had that from Mike Barrera. He sent me these sail fins. In fact, I think I sent one of the pictures to Desiree. Maybe I didn't have me holding that sail fin, but he sent it to me and he's like, dude, I don't know what species these are, but here, see what you can do with them. And we had the female it was almost like every time she dropped an egg, it was like a Pez dispenser for the male. He was just like, thank you. I'll take that one and that one and that one. And my rodent manager, because to get out of one of my rodent rooms, you have to walk right by this I converted a 10 by 12 office into a big walk-in enclosure for these sail fins. And she walks by it and she was just not going to go in there and stop it, but she was panic stricken running down the sidewalk. It's eating the eggs is all she was screaming. And like, what's eating the eggs? Oh, okay. But male lizards, man, they're much like the male of the human species, left to its own devices, we would not procreate very easily because they will devour all of the eggs.
My question, Mike. So you're feeding your Timors. Is it anything like you feed your ball pythons? Do you guys feed them anything like similar? Like, do you feed the shit out of your ball pythons?
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, we offer feed to our ball pythons 3 times a week. So yes.
Is this for real? This is for real, right?
This is a different level, though. There's a lot of stuff.
Calories in, eggs out.
No one
Calories
snake.
in, eggs out.
It doesn't matter if they have a.
Here's the thing with
breeding for production. Like, they're really doing it, so
that's
what works for them is feeding.
That's what I want to do. I'm trying to figure out that's crazy. I want to know. So continue, Mike. I'm listening.
So ball pythons, where they're concerned, remember, this is a resource breeder. This is a resource breeder. If ball pythons, if those females they don't have good body condition, or they don't think that they have enough resources to take their eggs.
Yeah, he just.
Sorry, the cat just got me in. If they don't have enough, they don't have good enough body condition, or there's not enough resource for them to be able to develop the follicles, their body's not going to waste the energy. You really, when it comes to ball pythons, you have to feed them, man, and don't be afraid of feeding them. I mean, this is a short, fat snake that does nothing all day. It sits in burrows all day and does nothing until it's time to eat or breed. That's what it does. They didn't get the name Pet Rock because they are out running marathons. This is what they do. They eat. That's it. So feed them.
Yeah. Now, Mike, I got to ask you.
Feed your animals, man. Everybody goes, don't power feed, and it's such a dirty word, but there's a difference. I mean, like, if you're not taking those animals to the point of being obese, then you're not overfeeding. Do you know what I mean? Like, if you can't see skin in between all the scales, or your animals are not, if they're not obviously obese, then you're not overfeeding and you're not power feeding. So just feed, man, feed.
I fucking loved it.
Now,
the reason why I mainly asked that, though, Mike, is because I've spoken to people throughout the last year who say, like, having a snake so fat won't give you eggs sometimes. Like, they won't produce if they're that fat.
Yeah, if they're obese. Yeah.
Okay.
I mean, you don't want to. Again, you don't want an obese animal. I mean, it's you know
Fine line.
if they're too fat, then yeah, they're not going to do anything. But you got to find that balance where you're feeding them just right up to that point where you're like, yeah, but offering, and again, keep in mind too that, for us, when I breed a female ball python, I get eggs out of her, I recondition her, and a lot of times she's back in with a male 4 months later, because I'm starting to see follicles again already. That doesn't mean that she's going to breed at 4 months, but that means that she's going to be introduced to the male.
Doesn't hurt.
And doesn't hurt, and
It, dude.
just again, it's a resource breeder. If you're feeding them enough that they know that they've got enough resources there, they're going to produce follicles. And if you don't, then shame on you.
Shame on you. Dude, this is a great, man. Thank you so much, Mike. Mike, I'm going to tell you right now, this is beyond round 2 worthy. So if it's cool with you and Betsy, I would love to have both of you guys back on this, and we could do this again, talk more monitors, because I think like Steven says, we barely scratched the surface on this, and we need more information for sure. Betsy, thank you so much. This was an amazing time. Thank you for being here.
Thanks for having me.
It's our pleasure.
Now, Mike, I will say, last question before you guys leave, and I do want to know, where's the future?
How many?
No, go ahead.
I was going to say his next question is how many eggs per Timor clutch do we get? I figured it was the next one coming.
I'm not worried about that because I was going to. My 2-part question was, where is Gourmet Rodent headed for the future? Like, what do we have to look forward to? And then the second part was, can I maybe hang out with you and visit you in Gainesville one of these days?
Yeah. You guys are more than welcome to visit. What the future holds for the Gourmet Rodent? We're always expanding. We're working on a new habitat system. We're working on new product lines. We're breeding sunbeam snakes. What I'm looking for. We're doing file snakes, sunbeam snakes, all these little weird things that everybody looks at in the pet trade right now, and they're like, I can buy those from Indo. Yeah, you can buy those from Indo right now, but will you be able to buy those from Indo in 5 or 10 years down the road? And we're looking more towards 100% sustainability of whatever product line we're producing, and we're breeding things like, believe it or not, water dragons, because again, you can buy water dragons now cheap as hell. But I can tell you this, we have to produce, right now, a few hundred water dragons a year, and by the end of this year, probably be a few thousand water dragons a year. You have never seen a water dragon like a captive produced baby. They're healthier, they're hardier, tame as get out from right out of the egg. Right out of the egg, they'll just crawl up your arm, sit on your shoulder. It's a night and day difference. So we're that's really what we're looking at is, okay, what are, everybody else, and this is our niche. Everybody else looks at it like, okay, what hasn't been filled yet? Like, what weird oddball thing, I'm going to be the next guy to produce, I'm going to be the next guy to captive produce matas or whatever the case is. And we don't look at it that way. We look at it like, okay, it's our job. And this has always been our job. It's our job to so you guys really do a lot of the higher end stuff and stuff like that. And you fill that niche. My niche, our niche is to the kids that are just coming in, that need the leopard gecko to get started, that need the gargoyle gecko to get started, or that need, the beginner to intermediate animal. And that's what we're always looking for, because quite frankly, the more of that's readily available, the more people that are going to be in our hobby, the more money we're all going to make. Very few people come into this hobby and they're like, you know what? I think my first snake's going to be a big ass blood python or a chondro python, or, hey, you know what I really want for my first snake? A scrub python, because that'll work out well. That's not, that's not going to, that's not going to retain somebody in the hobby. You know, we want to make sure that for years to come we have stuff that's readily available for people that are, you know, again in that entry to intermediate range. You know, what does that look like moving forward? I don't know, because things always change. I mean, you look at right now, if you go back to the 70s and 80s, the only people breeding chondro pythons were Trooper Walsh and Eugene Bissett, because they were the only ones that have figured it out. Now everybody and their brother breeds chondro pythons. So, you know, that'll evolve. But that's really where we see ourselves in the future. And that's kind of our mission statement, maybe. It's you know, we really take that responsibility of trying to produce the entry-level stuff pretty seriously, you know.
Right.
Very cool.
It's not as exciting as saying, "Oh, we're going to produce a shit ton of Timors and Bolins and all that crap," but you know what? It pays the bills, and it brings more people into the hobby. And the more people we can have in the hobby, the better it is.
Yep.
Yep.
Well, guys, that was an amazing hour, almost 2 hours of just solid information, almost a good hour of just Timor talk. And Mike, I can't thank you enough. This was amazing. And
I had a good time.
We're gonna have you back on again, man. And I will definitely reach out to you just to say hi and make sure Timors are doing good and everything, if that's okay.
You're more than welcome to, and I'll send you pictures. You text me, and I will make sure that I send you some pictures tomorrow of hopefully some more copulations.
Okay, perfect. So I could get your information from Des. You're saying it's okay to get your phone number from Des, right?
Yeah.
Yep, that's fine.
Yes. All right. Have a great night, guys. Thank you so much, Mike.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.
You guys.
All right. Thank you, guys.
Bye.
Have a good night.
Bye.
Oh man, amazing people.
Woo!
Sweating, man. Dude, the Timor shit just got me like,
Pumped.
I was trying to say, calm down, MJ, just chill the fuck out, but I just could not believe the whole like just fucking feed the motherfuckers. If they're hungry, feed them.
Maybe your 15-year project just turned into like a 5-year project.
Yeah.
Yeah, you know what sucks is like he's right. I have this 7-year-old Timor female that I got that at like around age 4, and she didn't eat for 8 fucking months, and then now she slams food, but she's not big at all. So she's long, but slow. Yeah, what'll happen? Whoa, somebody in there? It's fucking somebody with the fucking pillowcase over their head.
No,
the freshwater crop,
I think the
same
freshie
thing.
jumped into the water.
Hey, I'm just real quick, dude. Don't fuck with the damn RepTech building. Don't fuck with Cold Blooded Cafe's building. I will fuck you up. God damn it. Whoever you are out there, motherfuckers. Sorry. I'm okay. I feel better now. But guys, hey, great stuff, dude. Thank you so much for being here tonight. Thank you, Desiree, for fucking organizing this, getting this together. We're on a roll. 2021 is fucking going hot, man. Be ready for this shit. It's going down. And yeah, man, I love my team. I love the fucking viewers. If this was your first time, coming in, hit the subscribe button, hit the like, dislike, leave a comment. Just be ready. Join the Patreon page. It's popping off right now. So make sure you join that. And, that's it, man. Can't wait for next week. You guys are amazing. You guys have anything to say before we dip?
USARK.
USARK.
As Mike said earlier, USARK and USARK Florida. Just reiterating, as we now go into every single week, the fight for our rights to keep these animals is in full effect. And if the entire community as a whole does not take action, we could be in some serious trouble. Sign your entire family up for a monthly donation. And it doesn't even need to be, more the better, but really it's the power in numbers. If some legislative body sees USARK with 200,000 members, they're going to take that a lot more seriously than USARK with 50,000 members. I don't know the numbers, but the point is that this huge portion of the population is represented by this organization. And us as reptile keepers, it's really our responsibility to show these lawmakers that we're here. This community is massive. It's an industry. We have one of the foremost individuals in the entire reptile industry on tonight. So, sign your dogs up for all I care. Everyone should be a member of USARK. Write letters when local legislation comes through. All this is more important than you could think. So, USARK.
Write those fucking letters.
Don't be hating.